Hello guys! So today I wanted to do an oil painting instead of a drawing, and yeah, I know it honestly takes forever to dry, especially the types of oils that I bought, but it seems like I will be in Japan for at least until the beginning of August, which is when my visa expires, unless there's gonna be a second wave of corona. Then maybe I'll be able to get another extension, then I'll stay here for longer. Freaking crazy. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing an oil painting and risking the drying rate. And today I really wanted to do a piece that I guess just expresses emotions per always, but I just wanted to free flow, and since we're just using a different medium this time, I think that's going to be exciting in itself. I literally love oils. That's actually my go-to medium, but yeah, like I've told you guys many times before, it's because of the current situation that I haven't been using oil so much because I'm in kind of like a flux state, and yeah, it's like inconvenient to be transporting oil mediums. So yeah, but basically it is my go-to medium, my favorite medium, and it just happens to be I started making these videos during this weird period of time, so you guys haven't been seeing any of my like usual works. It's gonna be super free flow. I'm just kind of gonna go for it, and it's the whole point is just to express a mood, just for me to verbalize how I'm feeling, I guess, before I start. Well, first of all, I've been really into freaking analyzing the moon phases, because I've been noticing how it actually affects my body and my hormones and stuff as a freaking woman. And this is totally maybe like too much information, but I don't really believe in too much information. But I quit my birth controls like a couple months ago, so it has made me extra aware of my natural cycle, and maybe that's also why I'm so goddamn sensitive. But I do remember even like I started noticing a trend, specifically on full moons. Not all of them, but occasionally. Sometimes I would just like struggle breathing, and I'll need to go out for a walk, and I'll look up and I'll be like, damn, it's a full moon. Like this was a couple years ago, so I was noticing that trend. And anyway, there's a freaking eclipse that happened like a couple days ago. It's not just like, okay, only on the day of the eclipse are we gonna feel awful or we're gonna feel a certain way. It's kind of like usually like an energy that you're gonna have to resolve during a period of time, especially when it comes to an eclipse. I've been reading about this because I'm just like, what the hell's going on with my body? Why have I been sleeping so much? Like, what's going on? Why have I been feeling so heavy inside and just like, yeah. So anyways, there's a freaking eclipse, guys, and there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world. And also when I'm posting this video, it's not going to be actually an eclipse, but I record my videos ahead of time. So but yeah, I guess like June 22nd or 21st or whatever, depending on where you are, that's like the actual eclipse. I don't know about you guys, but for me, just like realizing this and just kind of being like aware of like the moon cycles and aware of like seasons and seasonal changes and how it affects us just helps me calm my titties. Like, I don't know, it just helps me stay a little bit more afloat. But I'm also a compulsive analyst. Like, I need to analyze everything, and if I understand it, it just helps me cope better. Anyway, so today is about how I'm feeling under this freaking eclipse. And like, I mean, it is technically just about my mood, but I think to be more specific, like this specific eclipse mood of June, end of June or whatever. Yeah, so if you guys have like anything in front of you, like a pen and a paper, or I don't freaking know, like if you have oils, that'd be even great, even better, even great, even more great. And you can just join with me, let's jam, let's have fun. All right, cool.
So as you can see, I use tape to attach the canvas to a scrap paper that's also taped onto the wall. This way I can keep everything clean, or as clean as can be for me. But yeah, so it's actually really easy to set this up at home. You don't need a stretched canvas. You could just tape it to a wall, and just be careful not to splash on the walls, I guess, depending on, your living situations. If you want to, I mean, I think it's pretty cool if you're able to paint onto the walls. I mean, just go ahead. in my current living situations, I can't just do that. So I have to be careful, and that's why I used another scrap paper behind just to be extra safe. As for the palette that I'm using, it's super messy. Here's an image of how it looks like. I actually tend to reuse the palette from before. That's not what I usually do, but currently, because I don't have my normal wooden palette, I've been using these scrap plastic papers, and I don't want to waste them, so I just kind of reuse the one that I used before, and I add color on top of it, and then once I fill out the page completely, I will use like a separate palette to do mixing, etc. Of course, I don't recommend that you do that. Whatever, everyone is different about their level of messiness and organization. For me, I actually feel comfortable when everything is not completely fully organized. I think being a little organized is nice. That's something I've learned. And I've had to get better at, but yeah, like I still like a little bit of chaos. Like I don't mind it. I think other people might like really not be able to work like that. So I actually started off with like not too many colors, and throughout the whole process I really didn't use that many colors because I don't even have that many oil paint colors. Like I pretty much have the primary colors, which yeah, you can see. I bought basically like a small oil tube, what's it called, just like a box with, like, they're not big because I don't know, my oils are actually in China right now, like they're larger tubes over there, so I just didn't want to like buy too much and then have to like bring it back, or honestly the situation's very confusing right now. So yeah, so I just like bought some smaller ones, and they're actually freaking amazing. The colors are beautiful. They like, yeah, like the only problem, I guess, which is not a problem, it's actually a good thing, is that these oils take literally forever to dry. So that's the only thing. And but I mean, technically if you're buying oils, you do want to have that quality. And yeah, I guess the options that they had available at the Japanese art store are pretty much the highest quality oils that you can find, I guess. So yeah, that's what I have, and it takes forever to dry. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little like glimpse of that, like the process and what I'm using. I'm also using like a couple different brushes. This brush that I um used to blend, it's like a little thicker, and I bought it also here in Japan. It's really awesome. I'm gonna show a picture of it right now. It's like, I guess it's bamboo, like the place that I'm holding it, kind of the shaft. Oh my gosh, like these words just like I can't remember these words, but I think it's made out of bamboo. I'm not even sure like what the, like I think the whole brush is like basically very natural. I don't know like what exactly the mediums. I remember them telling me, but I don't really have a good memory for these things. So I'm sorry I can't give specific details, but it's awesome. And I like to experiment and buy like different brushes and just like play around with that. So yeah, I've definitely been like experimenting and like by different mediums here while I'm in Japan. But yeah, I'm doing actually a much more in-depth video on Patreon for this piece, and I'm gonna be, yeah, like I'm talking about basically the process much more in depth, and like the technique, and the time lapses are going to be much longer so you can see exactly what I'm doing. If you're interested in that, definitely have a look at my Patreon account. And yeah, I post extra videos there every single week. You can see more of my work there, and I do these voiceovers where I talk about like my process, and like sometimes I get really personal. If you're interested in that, if you want to see more of my work, definitely have a look at Patreon. I'm super active there, and yeah, like if you like the videos on YouTube, there's definitely way more on Patreon. So have a look there. But yeah, for the rest of this video, I'm just gonna put some random soundtrack that I have on this app, and yeah, follow along. And I hope that you're enjoying it so far. And definitely, if you're drawing something or painting something, please send it to me. You can PM me on my Instagram. That's the easiest way for me to see your drawings, and then I will feature it maybe in my next videos. So yeah.
actually supposed to finish her last week, or that was my intention. I had two other oil paintings I already started on as well, but I couldn't finish it because I had to unexpectedly move into a new place. So now, I don't know if you noticed, but all of a sudden I was painting on a different wall. Well, it's because I moved places, and yeah, I'm filming this a little bit late, and you can see even my hair colors changed. Like the color's basically gone. I washed my hair like a couple times since the last video, so I'm basically blonde now. Like, what? I don't know. I don't know what I feel about this. I might be changing this again. Oil painting is my favorite medium. I just love the complexities. I love how, depending on what oils you mix together, like with turpentine or linseed oil or whatever mediums you like to use, it creates like a different finish. It can take longer to dry or quicker to dry. You can basically control that and play with that. Also create a glossy finish or like a matte finish or whatever. Yeah, there's just like a lot of different ways to play with an oil medium, and I think for me it feels almost like I'm sculpting into a flat surface, and that's what I love about it. But I feel super out of practice. Like, I haven't properly painted oils in at least half a year, and so I feel like out of practice, like with my eye. Like, my eye is out of practice. Does that make sense? And so like I feel like, for instance, when I was working on this piece, when I was trying to create more of a three-dimensional feel, there were moments that I had to kind of just play around and try something to see if it worked, because it's just been a while. It's kind of like any skill, any craft that you're doing, a sport. Like, if you haven't been, for instance, like I love running, right? Like, if I haven't been running for a while and practicing that muscle, my stamina, the first time I go running, it's just gonna feel a little bit awkward, and I have to get back into it. And I feel like that was kind of what I was experiencing with this piece. But I'm really excited because I know every single time I'm gonna paint now after this, it's gonna just get better and better. But like, you have to really keep at it and keep creating. Of course, I've been making drawings and stuff, but I think I've been exercising more like the muscle of imagination, because they were just really spontaneous and free flow, like not necessarily rendered or technical. They were more just expressing whatever crazy stuff was going on in my head. So I think this time I was trying to bring in a little bit more technique. I'm really excited because the next two paintings, well, one of them is going to require a little bit more technique, and the other one's definitely just like weird. You'll see. So in the next 2 weeks, that's pretty much what I'll be working on. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my process of layering and stuff. And that's another thing I love about oils. It's like your first layer, I tend to use turpentine for the first layer just to get it there, like on. It smelled awful. The one I got, I guess, had like an odor to it, so I ended up going and buying some linseed oil, which I was gonna do that anyway because I love working with linseed oil. So the rest of the painting was basically made with like oil painting mixed with like linseed oil. And yeah, so this is the outcome. I hope you guys really like it and you're excited for my next pieces to come, because I am. Yeah, anyway, ciao guys.